What's going on, everybody? Nico Drex here, and today we're going to be talking about, yes, today we're checking out Mortal Shell 2, the upcoming dark fantasy action RPG from Cold Symmetry. I've spent some time with the open beta on Steam, and I highly encourage anybody who's looking to play this game to try the open beta as if you can to close it off. But nonetheless, definitely check it out on Steam. And if you are a fan of Soul-like game, brutal combat, massive boss, dark fantasy worlds, then this might be one of the biggest surprises of 2026. But here's the question: is Mortal Shell 2 actually worth your time, or is it just another Souls clone trying to ride the popularity of Elden Rings or Dark Souls? But after playing the beta, I got some thoughts, so let's go ahead and jump into it and kind of get some ideas. But thank you for watching this video and hitting that sub button and engaging. I really appreciate it and actually helping me grow my account. But here we go, guys. Thank you. So first off, Mortal Shell 2 feels like developers looked at the first game and asked themselves a question: how do we make everything bigger, faster, and more fun? Right away, the combat feels more aggressive than traditional Souls games. Instead of constantly managing stamina or playing super cautiously, because we know if you played any kind of Souls-like game, you got to be careful in what you do. But Mortal Shell 2 encourage you to stay on the offensive, but combat still is challenging, but it feels more fluid, action-focused than something like Dark Souls. The game even removes some of the restrictions that normally slow down Souls-like combat. This creates a faster and more aggressive experience. One of the coolest features returning to the Shell system. If you never played original Mortal Shell, don't you worry, because this is a standalone sequel. You don't need to know the story or fully go back into playing the first game. But if you do, fantastic. But you don't have to worry about it to enjoy this game. Throughout the game, you'll discover different fallen warriors called shells. Each shell plays differently, which I do like. It's very cool when you interact with them, and each has its unique abilities, strengths, and combat styles. So look at it this way: think of it as most basically switching out character classes that you can swap out between, and how you want to play your game or going against a foe. That's pretty nice to kind of change that versatility. Visually, the game is absolutely nails a dark fantasy atmosphere. Everything feels like grim, brutal, mysterious, which I do like, so it definitely gives that vibe to it. The environments are packed with strange creatures, ruined structures, creepy forests, and giant boss encounters that immediately grab your attention, and it feels like Dark Soul remix with heavy metal album artwork. What I mean by that, it just kind of pulls in that dark, knights and castles and underworlds kind of thing all together. Another thing that stood out to me in this world design: instead of a massive open world filled with empty spaces, Mortal Shell 2 uses more of a compact, interconnected world. Exploration feels rewarding because you are constantly finding new paths, dungeons, upgrades, and secrets, and bosses. According to the developers, and I'm not sure if fully because obviously this is open beta, but we got to see, but they're going to be including 60 dungeons to explore. And that's one thing I like about games like this and open world RPG games, is the fact that you have the ability to explore different areas. Now let's talk about who is this game for. Now this is going to be the probably most important thing, is that it just going to be depend on the gamer or yourself or what you're looking for. If you love games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Lord of the Fallen, Lives of P, or even Black Myth Wukong, then this is a very good chance you might like Mortal Shell 2. And you don't want to keep this on your radar or wish list here. However, I think this game might actually appeal to the players who found traditional Soul games like titles or little too slow. Might like this a little bit better because it's a little bit more fast paced. The combat feels, again, faster, more aggressive, and more stylish. There's even a ranged weapons and firearms mix into the combat systems, which helps, makes this game stand out against other Souls-like game, which is very cool. Because when I first was going into this, I'm like, oh, is this like a ranged weapon? I'm like, oh my god, this is actually kind of cool. I like that little bit of a mix there. Well, with that being said, this game is still difficult. Don't get me wrong. You go against these bosses, you got to know how to time right. And, you are going to be, starting over again, if you will. Enemies hit hard. Bosses are demand, patience. So you got to go in this game. It's not like hack and slash. You got to time things right still. And honestly, be careful of what you do in each move. For me, the biggest takeaway from the beta is the Mortal Shell 2 feels more confident than the original game. The combat is better. In my opinion, the world is larger. The shell system feels deeper, and more overall presentation feels more polished. If Cold Symmetry can maintain the level of quality throughout the full release, Immortal Shell 2 could easily become the standout Souls game of 2026. So yeah, that might be it. So I'm looking forward to it. So overall, after playing the beta, I'm taking away the expressions or the impression of Mortal Shell 2 isn't trying to be like Elden Ring. Instead, it feels like it's carrying or craving out or more different tiles of gamers to really kind of go into this game with aggressive combat, more actions, very unique mechanics like the shell systems to keep your players going. If you're a Souls-like fan, like I said, then yeah, you might absolutely like this and keep it on your wish list. But let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching. And again, check out the Mortal Shell 2 beta available on Steam. But again, guys, thank you so much. Until next video, I'll see each and everybody around, and game on.